Hey guys.
Hey, welcome.
Hey guys.
Hey, welcome to channel14.com's Bodega Nights. I'm Joao.
This is Norm.
I'm Paulo the Saxel.
And I just came from a funeral. So it's been a hot day.
It's a low energy episode for everybody.
Joao came from a funeral and I came from like a family get together for Chinese New Year. Happy Chinese New Year to everybody.
Yay.
Yeah. So if this comes out when it's supposed to come out, that would be... It was Chinese New Year 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Either 2 days ago or like about a week ago.
This is our official greeting, really. So...
Yeah. Well, a question about Chinese New Year, though. Like, for the, what we use the Gregorian calendar, the Gregorian calendar, it is officially a new year at midnight in between the 31st and the 1st, right? So that's like the official, like, it's now 1 year and then the next year.
Yeah.
But with like Chinese New Year, when is that point? Is it at midnight tonight? Or is it like at midnight on Chinese New Year Day? Or
midnight tonight.
Midnight tonight.
Technically tomorrow is supposed to be Chinese New Year, so midnight tonight. It's just that, well, tomorrow's a Monday, and I really don't know how they treat Chinese New Year in terms of like holidays, so basically people are celebrating now.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean like as a holiday, sure, like tomorrow is Chinese New Year, but like if you were to, say like, okay, it's now the next year.
I'm not really monitoring it as closely, so
probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either because like
if I were to guess, it would probably be midnight. It would probably be midnight of midnight.
Because the Chinese calendar follows the lunar calendar, right? So
yes.
Yeah.
Barely any research.
So I'm not sure that.
I think
like I have no idea how these.
Yeah, I think my juxtaposition would just messes up the whole thing.
Yeah, because like I have no idea how lunar calendars work. Like we're so used to the solar calendar that like
we're so used to the solar calendar, and we're also so used to the notion of like, let's see, 24 hours, 60 minutes per hour, 60 seconds per minute.
So if anybody out there actually knows the answer to this question, please feel free to comment on our Facebook or YouTube or wherever this comes out and you listen to it.
We don't have a Facebook though. Email us.
Send us an email.
Channel14.com.
Actually, why do we not have a Facebook page?
Because
that was AG's call.
Why?
AG's executive decision or whatever.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to deal with Facebook.
Don't know, Paulo.
Well, like who's gonna manage it for one? Like I have a hard enough time managing the Google Plus page.
And he's managing the Twitter page.
Yeah, and he's doing a much better job at the Twitter than I am at the Google Pluses. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So speaking of Chinese New Year, Paulo, what were you saying about Chinese New Year and video games and stuff?
Yeah, Steam actually has a Steam sale for Chinese New Year now, it feels strange though, because it's like the first time they did that.
It's weird. It generates the image of Gabe Newell and Jeong Sam for some reason. It's just no.
No. I have a different image in my head, and it's like Gabe Newell as Buddha.
Still a no, by the way. But yeah, funny. Still a no, though.
Is this like...
Or the Jade Emperor.
Is this a what?
Is this like Steam jumping on the bandwagon of pandering to the Chinese market?
No.
The Pander Express, if you will.
No idea, honestly, because I actually don't know if Steam's available in China.
Oh, I haven't checked it out yet. The games, are they any different? Are they focusing on Chinese developed games, or it's just another reason for another Steam sale?
It's just another. For the most part, it looks like it's just another reason for another Steam sale. Though it is So, though there is an emphasis here. There is this one interesting thing I found in like a yellow button they have. It says that there's an option to look for games in your language.
Okay, that's sort of helpful, yeah.
But for the most part, it sounds like
2015.
It just sounds like they're looking for another reason to make a Steam sale.
Well, so an article from GameSpot last year says that Steam is available in China.
So
accessible in China. And this is from pretty much 1 year ago today.
So basically, it just came in last year.
Seems like it.
Because that's probably why they only have a Steam sale now. And even then, I'm not even sure that... I'm almost certain their game selection is entirely different from what we see right now.
What if they are capitalizing on the whole emerging Chinese market, or Chinese market that has already emerged, rather? It makes sense, because Chinese, if my impression at least, is Chinese New Year in the distinctly Chinese countries, China, Taiwan, and etc. They spend a week or two on vacation for Chinese New Year's. So that's perfect time to just log in some solid game time. On sale, no less.
Yeah.
I know for a fact...
And we have Singapore. They're really big on Chinese New Year.
Oh, yeah. Singapore too. They're gone for like 2 weeks.
Actually, a lot of places with a very large, sizable amount of Chinese.
Yes, that's a lot of places, Paulo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not just a lot of Chinese, but...
Notice how we avoided a racial slur.
Huh?
That's a lot of places, Paulo. Alright, Steam sale. Back to the Steam sale. Are there any new games that are worth checking out that are actually on sale now? That wasn't there in Christmas?
Let's see. New games on sale.
That's a good question.
Most of it just look... Well, there's this romance... Well, one of the new releases is Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13.
That's still going on? Those Three Kingdoms?
Yeah, it's just... it's just that it's not on discount.
Longest running telenovela in Chinese history.
Yeah, and
that's not true.
And it's like this is the 13th game of the Romance of Three Kingdoms series.
Is it the longest series in gaming history in terms of sequels?
Which one? Anything related to the Romance of the Three Kingdoms?
No, in general, 13 games in a sequel, in a franchise rather. Is it the longest franchise so far?
Final Fantasy has more games.
Oh yeah, there's 15 and all the others in between games.
And also the side games and whatnot.
I don't know.
In terms of like number of games released, or in terms of like length of time that it's been a franchise? Because Donkey Kong has been around forever.
That is true. And Final Fantasy isn't really jumping off of the one story every single time. It's just a different fantasy world jumping off of the same name of the series, in essence. Sorry, Final Fantasy fans.
Final fan.
Jesse?
That was really lame.
I'm just looking at the number of entries.
That's the basis.
At least what I'm using.
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
For the first person
off.
The franchise is anywhere from 33 to 50% off. Well, actually, it's all 50% off except for Black Ops 3.
I have a question. When does a video game become retro?
Honestly, I can't really answer. I actually don't know that as well.
Yeah, technically, Vietnam is still not retro, despite it being...
I mean, people have made up their own standards for it, but for the most part, I don't know if there's like an objective standard for it, as it were.
Counter question.
Yeah.
Is retro referring to an age, or is it referring to the specific generation of games that came out in the 70s and 80s?
Right? That's the question. Because like Call of Duty 2,
it's a pretty old game, but it's not
10 years
retro. to my classification.
But I don't know. What's it? The first Call of Duty game is 13 years old now.
Oh my god.
Wait, it's just 13 years old?
Yeah, Call of Duty 2 was released in 2006, it looks like.
The first Counter-Strike game came out when, Paulo?
Someone was it what?
Sometime in the early 20s.
No. I think it came out like 99, 98. The first.
No, 98 was Metal Gear Solid, so that can't have been it.
I have no idea.
Early 02s, I guess. That's my guess without researching on the internet, which I should do more often than I just talk about stuff. Let me just look that up. Counter-Strike Wikipedia. Alright, you take the floor, please.
Half-Life 2 was released in 2004.
That's like 12 years ago.
That's Half-Life 2. No, Half-Life 1,
Yeah,
though.
1 was in 99? 2000? Thereabouts.
So basically
1998.
18
Half-Life was
years
1998.
ago. Half-Life is legal.
Half-Life can order its own drinks. Well, in this
Half-Life
country.
is no longer... Half-Life can now have jail time.
Yes, it can now go to jail. Can now be called off on
Minority
by the
is no
court.
longer a defense.
We will have to subpoena it if we need to.
Because we have to make sure that due process is observed. What else is on sale? Thousands of games on sale.
There's always thousands of
Lunar
games
New
on
Year
sale.
sale.
I don't want to open my Steam because I haven't opened it in months and it's gonna need to update.
Update and stuff.
You also do you want Norm? You don't want to get tempted, right?
You can take a second to breathe. But yes, I don't really want to be tempted, but I don't really have the motivation to do so. I mean, I got early in October last year, I got Witcher 3, Phantom Pain, and Fallout 4, and to this day, I've only gotten to a third of Witcher 3, and I haven't even been started with the other two games. So I'm kind of up to my quota in video games.
125 pesos for Portal and Portal 2.
Oh my god.
For them
I'm
both.
totally ignoring that because it's always on sale every time Steam is on sale.
So
Yeah.
they now have Age of Mythology Extended Edition for 189 and 98 centavos.
99 pesos. Half-Life. Not Half-Life. Freaking Left 4 Dead.
It's a $2 deal for Left 4 Dead. Damn, that is so much cheaper than pirated CDs.
Yeah, it's true, huh? It is.
It is
It's cheaper than,
it is.
like, getting them pirated from, like, a store.
Yes, it's the charm of Steam. So sure, you're locked to Southeast Asia region for the games, and the moment you step into America and it finds out that you're there, you can no longer play the same game that you paid for back here. It's a good remedy, I guess, for the burgeoning piracy situation that they're trying to face.
So wait, if I go to
Yeah.
if I go to America and I have a Philippine Steam account and I want to play the games I bought in the Philippines, the only way I could play them is by using a VPN.
I don't think you can even use the VPN.
No, basically use the VPN to make it look like I'm from the Philippines to access my games.
I haven't tried it
I'm
yet,
sure they have.
so I can't really say. I would say maybe it might work, but also it's Steam, so maybe they already have checks and balances against it. Who knows?
Well, actually, you're just
Dear
reminding.
listeners, if you know, you can email us.
Please do, because I just. Please do,
We need
because I
people
just.
to talk to.
Please do, because I also just realized that most of the recommended VPNs don't have servers in the Philippines.
Correspondence is very much welcome at channel14.com, where you can check out Jobber Talk, our wrestling podcast, Radio Norm, whatever that is, and Third World Linux.
Dude, speaking of Radio Norm, the torrent is out. The season 1, the torrent.
The totally legal torrent. It sounds like I'm saying it sarcastically. It is really legal. One of the few legal torrents out there.
Actually, we do have a lot of. We do have like Linux distributions are usually like served up via torrent. But like when it comes to the more general population, it's like torrent is equated with illegal, even though Steam, for all intents and purposes, uses like the BitTorrent protocol. But like the torrent itself, man, we have a radio norm torrent out there. Like, wow.
It's a milestone, people. It's
That's an
entirety
hour long,
of
I
season
assume.
1. That's not even a half an hour long.
I
Wait,
never
there's 18
bothered to check.
episodes. An average of 2 minutes per episode. That's at least an hour long. Half an hour long. So it's 36 minutes. A good commute if you go through everything in no one go. Which I don't recommend. But that's your player. It's your sanity, people.
I'm actually gonna check like how long the runtime of your first episode of your first season is.
Yes. Meanwhile, I shall apologize for any dogs you might hear from my background. My neighborhood.
Or any fireworks.
Or any fireworks. My neighborhood is particularly dog friendly and it's Chinese New Year, so there might be fireworks and that brings noisy dogs. Thankfully, no crying babies because this is kind of like generation gap, I guess.
There are doggies in the background. They're barking.
Yeah, so your the runtime is about 50 minutes.
So nearly an hour.
50 minutes, wow. Alright, I've been talking a while. We're gonna do the same run with Radio Norm Season 2, which, we detailed in the last episode of Bodega Nights. So just watch out for it. It's gonna come out soon. It's gonna come out strong.
Yeah, if I release this episode when it's supposed to be released
Tomorrow.
around Wednesday, it should be coming out tomorrow.
Yes, which is 3 days ago by the time you read this or hear this. So.
Yeah. What was it? I was thinking about like now that you have some episodes now that we have some episodes like saved up, do you have any particular time of day that you want it released?
When is
because I've been trying to get it released at around like if you don't if the episode doesn't come in like directly under the gun or whatever that figure of speech is, I tried to get it released at around 4:30 in the afternoon,
right before the office
Philippine
comes
time.
out.
Yeah, that way somebody
there's a chance somebody might actually listen.
Yeah, while standing in line for their commute or whatever, like
let's share this misery together. Yeah, that sounds good. We can keep that. I mean, I don't really have any particular plans for it. Different thought in mind, though. I was kind of picturing it for somebody who's already stuck in the traffic, waiting for their 2 hours of hellish commute, 2 kilometers away home, that kind of stuff.
yeah, all right.
An hour a kilometer. My God, just walking.
Yeah, dude, a kilometer really isn't that far. Like when you think about it,
It's like a 10-minute walk, guys.
Wait, a 10-minute walk. 10-minute walk for is a kilometer.
No, it really depends on how fast you walk, but it could be.
You're just reminding me that I'm trying to measure the amount of time it would take to do a 10-kilometer run.
Marathon is what, 42?
42, full marathon, yeah.
Yeah, full marathon is like 42. And people do those in 6-7 hours, maybe?
Yep. Actually, I was trying to research that. I was like, who decided 42 kilometers would be the standard for a full marathon? And, you have that for a half marathon.
It's got something to do with Greece.
It's
something to do with Greece.
I tried to do some research on it. It's like the longest marathons, I think, that came out at the time was around 40 to 42 kilometers. But Wikipedia can only tell me so much. So, if anybody has the actual answer to that question, when, how, and who decided 42 kilometers was gonna be the full marathon distance, please feel free to email us. We will talk about it and your email address and what it means to us in the next episode of Bodega Nights.
Well, according to Wikipedia, 42 kilometers is from Marathon to Athens or something.
Yeah, but when was that decided?
Battle of Marathon. The Battle of Marathon to Athens. I have no idea.
All right.
So yeah, well, that's why it's 42 kilometers.
All right. I can live with that explanation, but a better one would be found in email, hopefully.
Oh wow, cool. So it's like...
So, Paulo, have you found anything new you'd like to purchase from the Chinese New Year sale from Valve?
I'm just probably going to see if anything on my wish list is on sale.
If your wish list is long enough,
I guess the only thing I'm hoping for is like, I'm just hoping that, okay, wait. Oh. Kind of was hoping that Shovel Knight would be put on sale.
There we go, finally. Yes. Worried I might have to go to sleep. What was he worried about?
Shovel Knight's not on sale. It's not
Joao,
on sale.
I understand that you're not really as heavy a gamer recently, but what's like the most recent game you've been playing, rather?
Right, so the marathon was standardized at around 42 kilometers around the beginning of the 20th century, when for the modern Olympic Games. I've been playing a lot of retro games actually, like a lot of the games of my childhood.
Yeah,
like I've been playing a lot of Simcopter.
I didn't know that was still out.
Well.
Alright, what
like a box full of stuff.
What motivated you to get back into the retro games of your childhood? Nostalgia or
yeah, I had a
cleaning up the
because I had a copy of SimCity 2000, right?
Right.
And like I built this weird, not weird, but like you know how I play SimCity 2000, right? Like I make like squares and I'm very obsessive compulsive about it.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
It's perfectly grid everything.
and then I thought to myself, wouldn't it be fun to fly around in this? Like, oh, I know what I'll do. It's, get Simcopter and
plug it in.
See how that goes. And it looked terrible.
Like games of our childhood. Actually, even the games
like
now.
90s graphics, man.
Yeah, but I think we're reaching this threshold between the graphics and the games, and we're just hitting a wall of, well, this is gonna be how good it's gonna look for the next few years at most, because we're still using the same techniques and we're still using the same artwork, and I guess most recently the only sort of unique thing that came out visually is, I know it's not a particularly common thing to talk about, but the cel shaded artwork from Borderlands was
that actually looks really good.
Visually unique when it came out the first time. I guess everything is like trying to be more realistic and whatnot. It just went through let's push the whole comic cartoony part of it and not go for realism. Then you have, I think, Paulo, was it? What's that new MMORPG coming out of Korea soon?
Which one? Black Desert?
Yeah, with the uber realistic character creation thing that sort of looks like it's from a Final Fantasy game.
Well, I'd actually say it looks like a Final Fantasy cutscene.
Are we gonna be expecting a review or?
I don't know if it's out locally. I don't know if it's out. I'll check if it's actually. I'll actually now that you mentioned, I'll check if it's out in Southeast Asia in English. I know it got released in like America and Europe, but I'm not sure if it's out in Southeast Asia in English. Let me check.
Alright. If you are, you don't have to, disappear for weeks at a time playing it.
No, nah. The thing about me disappearing weeks at a time would probably be work.
Work.
Adult life.
Apparently, Black Desert released in Q4 of 2015, so basically around October, November, December.
Huh.
Well, at least that was based on the official site. It may or may not have been moved. And well, my only issue with trying to access it via America would probably be, well, server lag.
Mm.
And trying to access it from Korea or Japan, well, language barrier.
Yeah, that's a generally hitch. That was what's new with Third World Linux lately.
What is new with Third World Linux? I have no idea. Steady as she goes. Well, AG has his netbook back, which is always a good thing.
Oh yeah, always a
That
good thing.
means like we can do, that means we can do like Linuxy stuff.
Wasn't he up for supposedly a challenge for putting in a Linux skin or a Linux mod?
No
Build?
idea.
What do you call those? I'm not really familiar with
Distro,
a distro. Yes.
distribution. Yeah. Yeah. I was telling him to install Antergos, but yeah.
What?
Dude, remember when, remember Daryl Levine
Yeah.
from, yeah. Wait, Paulo, were you there when, like, I introduced everybody to this idea of lowering the pitches of, like, female sung songs by, like, 3-4 semitones, and they end up sounding like dudes?
I think I heard once.
Yeah, I've been doing that again. Like, it was really weird. I was letting my girlfriend listen to it, and we were having like a really good laugh, and I realized, like, what the hell am I doing? Freaking Taylor Swift, when you like lower it, when you lower her songs,
Sounds like a dude.
it sounds like Dashboard Confessional-ish.
Ooh, that's not
Like
right.
that that not Romeo and Juliet, love story.
Sorry, Dashboard
Like, it's
fans.
really good.
Okay.
We look forward to it.
I really, I wonder, like, I really want to post it on the internet somewhere, but like I can't because of intellectual property law.
Ooh, what? That's a thing that we're trying to enforce.
We're not
Ew.
talking to ourselves, are we?
I can hear you, Paulo.
Yeah,
Norm?
I'm here.
Okay.
All right, cool.
No technical issues, just a whole lot of misunderstanding.
It almost sounded like we were all talking to ourselves while trying to talk to each other, and inadvertently we were talking to each other while we thought we were talking to ourselves.
It's a paradox.
So your first obstacle is a massive body of water. Do you swim across or hitch a ride and drive the long way around? Is the question on Steam's front page
I will totally.
of their store.
Do you want the answer, or do you want to do you want to just click to find out?
I'm asking you guys, like, what do you do? What would you do?
Swim.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I swim. Yeah.
Why?
Why would I swim? Because swimming is good exercise, and I get to see fish. And whatever lives under the sea.
I'd rather go there on my own than have to spend, the entire flight next to some person I don't really know.
But what if you're just driving the car alone?
But what if you're not driving the car alone?
Okay, let's answer my scenario first.
Okay, go ahead. What's your scenario?
If you're driving alone. If you are driving the car alone. would you drive the car alone? Would you drive if you were alone?
Most people do, anyway. It's just a matter of whether or not you're freaked out at night when you're driving alone or not.
It's not like Slender Man's in the back seat.
He could be, though. You never know. That's the Slender Man thing.
I actually turned around.
Did it start?
And
I
that's
actually looked
Exhibit
over
A.
my shoulder.
And that's Exhibit A. Especially as we're nearing midnight. Perfect thing to talk about. Wait, no, we're gonna be doing an educative podcast, right, Joao? To tell people about what podcasts are.
Yeah. We'll probably do the Third World Linux one soon. That way, like when AG sets up his photography podcast, he'll have something to like point people to when they ask him, "What's a podcast?" Like
That is true.
Right, so would you rather save the life of a starving African child that you will never meet, or have an actual working lightsaber?
Tough call. African child equals plus morality. But then on the other hand, an actual working lightsaber. I'm gonna go with the lightsaber. Horrible person alert. I'm gonna go with the lightsaber. And that's how Kylo Ren began.
I want a lightsaber.
I want a lightsaber.
Can I mentor the child?
You'll never meet him.
Can I mentor him indirectly?
Would that count as meeting him?
No, basically I make an organization and then I have like one of my brothers in arms handle it.
This sounds really, really creepy.
No, it just sounds like a conspiracy.
No, you're like, alright, okay, let me run you through this. You're gonna have an organization where you're gonna get one of your brothers in arms to get a kid from Africa. So you can indirectly help him.
Yeah, indirectly help him, bring him up, educate him, teach him in the ways.
In essence,
make
taking him away
him a
from his
leader.
tribe and family and whitewashing him with your culture and education.
We don't separate them from the family. We basically just make it like a mentorship.
Isn't that what happened with the Native American Indians that were modernized by the Americans in the Wild West days? I mean, you're there to help them cope, and so you're educating one of their own, but at the same time, doing so means that you're indoctrinating them to your way of thinking, your culture, not theirs, and via etc.
Imposing your hegemony over them and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, in effect, Paulo, the thing that you want to do is actually significantly more direct than actually just going there and helping keep him alive.
I'm confused.
I'm just gonna keep quiet on that. I can't reveal.
This one is for Norm.
I can't reveal my intentions.
Go ahead.
I can't reveal my intentions.
Alright, Norm, would you rather use only Comic Sans or use only Papyrus?
Oh my god. I can't choose. Comic Sans or Papyrus. This is forever.
Yeah.
Just because for professional reasons it's sort of still passed, I'm gonna go with Papyrus.
Alright.
The moment I said that, I regretted it immediately. Which I would say I'd take it back and go with Comic Sans, but it's still the same sort of bad taste in my mouth, so let's just stick with Papyrus.
Okay, Joao, I have a question. I have a question for you. If you could go back in time and change one event of history, what would you change? One event only.
Change one event in history.
I'm gonna change the impact that killed the dinosaurs.
So basically,
Doom all mankind.
So basically, whatever sentient species comes to rule the Earth is going to be eating whatever the successor species to the Triceratops is going to be, and will be eating steaks of that. Okay.
Yeah, think about it. In another alternate universe, you could have been
a Velociraptor person.
Sure, yeah, a velociraptor person or a triceratops person or, God forbid, your T-Rex. The tiny arms.
Oh,
Do you
gosh,
even lift, bro?
Oh, gosh, how am I gonna fit inside buildings without breaking them?
Well, the idea is that you're evolved. The buildings are designed to accommodate all people, so.
And well, actually, no. More important, how am I going to look at my fellow dinosaurian citizens and not want to eat them?
Fair enough. That is a good question. In that society, is cannibalism okay? Since you're all dinosaurs and dinosaurs eat other dinosaurs, except if you're
Then aren't they like different?
herbivore.
But then they aren't like all like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs like they have different
Levels of hybrid.
Oh man, now I wish I had listened in biology class.
Mutation.
Different families, right? Like
Yeah.
Different
Species?
different family,
yeah, different species.
different species, different families, different geni, different geni. Wait, different the order. Wait, different subspecies, different species, different geni, different families, different. What was after family? I forgot. It was either order or phylum, I think. I'm not sure. I recall being really heavy into that stuff when I was really like looking and doing like my amateur level ichthyology, while because I really like keeping fish, and I really looked into that stuff. I mean, differences can be very, very pronounced at just the subspecies level.
Yeah, I'm kind of dozing off.
Right. For me, it would either be stop the imposition of martial law in the Philippines, or I'd like to see us as like a country that's like a Commonwealth country. So basically,
a Commonwealth country.
Yeah, like I'd want to see what we would be like as a cricket loving nation.
Oh, so basically you're saying that. So basically, we would have previously been occupied by the British.
We were previously occupied by the British for like a year.
Like you want
when the British were at war with Spain.
So basically, what you're changing is that they're the ones retaining the colonizing power.
Yeah. We be retained as a British colony longer, and just for the curiosity to see like what happens. Like have them cede part of Malaysia to the Spanish instead of returning the Philippines.
Okay.
Right.
Joao, what do you theorize?
For no other reason than I think it would be cool.
What do you theorize that Philippines would look like?
I have no idea.
All right.
And that's why I'd change it. Because I have no idea what it would look like. Because like the British as colonizers either do really well or really badly. Like when they decolonize, their process of decolonization, like they're like a real mixed bag, right? Because Australia is doing really well. Singapore is doing really well. The US, former British colony, they're doing pretty well, right? And then on the flip side, you have the debacle in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh.
In a way, I guess we gained independence too soon. I don't know. We were not prepared to govern ourselves. I think by the time we fought and got our independence. So if we're having any issues about that's my stance.
Yeah. Then like for me, it's martial law, because probably going to be good for the country that we don't have that blotch in our history, but out of like the sense of morbid curiosity of what we would be like as a Commonwealth nation. See what that would be like.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Especially if you become a battleground for other countries, since we're one of the better trading ports, I imagine, aside from Hong Kong.
Yeah. Alright, Paulo. Would you rather rule the world for 10 years than have the most painful death possible? Or be poor and forgotten, but be put at peace when you die?
We're talking...
So rule the world 10 years, most painful death. Poor and forgotten, but be at peace when you die.
Okay.
Well,
I'd probably rule the world, and for all I care, I think if I'm gonna die painfully, I don't know. When you say die painfully, it almost sounds like I'm probably going to be poisoned.
They've tried it other ways, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm being thrown into a volcano supposedly like hurts really bad.
I don't know. It's like when I hear rule the world for 10 years and then die painfully. It's like, this doesn't sound like I'm going to die of cancer. That's for sure.
And the fireworks have started.
What would be the most painful death?
I'm
having fun with these would you rather questions.
What would be the most painful death?
That question actually could get very existential.
Yeah. Thank God nobody's going through.
I mean, sure, there's the whole aspect of the amount of pain. Then again, you could also make an argument about your legacy and how it reflects on your memory.
But then what does that have to do with pain?
Yeah, Paulo, what does that have to do with pain?
Because we're getting existential.
We're taking a moment to collect our thoughts, doze off to sleep.
The whole notion, like, for me, it wouldn't be so much pain in the physical sense, but the notion that I basically either bequeath to my fellows or to my family the legacy of basically a bad legacy, really.
Well, that would depend on how you rule the world, though.
Wait, we're still on the ruling the world thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we're talking about legacy and
okay, good. As a bit of an
right? Because if you're equating pain with legacy, and ruling the world for 10 years is the only way you can have a legacy within this sort of binary framework of the would you rather question. Right? It's either rule the world or be forgotten. So we can do away with being forgotten because there's no legacy to speak of there.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking about that sort of existential pain that your heirs might feel based on your legacy, that would sort of depend on how you rule the world for 10 years.
Yes, actually it would.
I have no idea where I was going with that.
You know, I would like to expound, but it's like my brain is technically kind of dead.